Yo, Jay, what's going on? We're simulcasting on YouTube, Instagram, people. If you don't like Instagram, so you can use your phone. Bert, what's up, dude? Oh, now I got to watch two screens. This is what's getting painted next. DT6s. Got a whole pile of them. So see if I can get these packages open without destroying them too bad. One. What y'all up to? Dude, this office is atrocious. These these Rapala packages are pretty legit. They're pretty tough. Glued in, very good glue they use. South Jersey, what's up? Morgan, they are. Got any color recommendations? I was gonna do the Coleman crawl, so everybody can get their fix of that thing. Is that better? Is that better? I think it's a little dark over there on the YouTube side. I know I'm going to do that one. That was the obvious one. I thought about doing, it might be a little, I mean, it's late in the year to do it, but I thought about doing that pineapple smash color or whatever it is. It's been, people always go crazy over that thing. That, like in the South, that has, been typically run its path. Dustin, which one you like better? I don't know that, Morgan. I don't know. Oh, cracked that one. That's okay. Nobody's buying the damn package anyway. Right? Did we learn that yesterday? Marty. I went and threw the you know what yesterday. And I will say, if you could tame that action, like you said, I don't even know that you would call that action. But if you could, because like you told me the bait worked at one speed, and it was right. You were right, and but what it did under the water was probably the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Like you said, I don't even know if you would call that action. It was just, I don't know. I'd never seen a bait do that, which was what excited me because it was weird. So I don't know. I was thinking that maybe making the bill a little longer would help stabilize it. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to that bait, Marty. But anyway, for those of you, it is. That's exactly what it is, like a leaf falling. But anyway, for those of you, I'm having a private conversation over here with Marty, and nobody knows what we're talking about. But anyway, I hit Marty with an idea, got his gears turning, and he threw something together, and he sent it to me, and he told me, it's like, this thing is this is my first try, and it's odd, and it was odd, but I've never seen a bait do what it did It was strange. He described its action as it flutters like a leaf falling, which is kind of accurate. It's weird though. It's really weird. But like I was telling him, if we could get that, and you can only reel it like at one speed or it blows out. But if you could control that action to where you could like keep it down, this thing's gonna be wild. Culvers, what'd you get? Did you get one of those concrete mixers? We don't have Culvers here, but I think they're in the middle of trying to open some here in the deep south. South Jersey, I will sand these, and I won't. I'll sand them down, but I'm just sanding them to scuff them, not to like remove the paint. Because when you start getting into removing the when you get into paint layers of the DTs, they have build coats on them like many Balsa baits do. So if you just run the risk of like eating through into the wood, and then like it's just a mess. So it's better just to sand them to where you can just paint over the paint jobs rather than like try to get them down to like a wood. 3-piece fish and ice cream. How's the fish? I've never eaten one. But no, because I tried that one time, or actually multiple times, where I've gotten DTs down to their, and I've had guys do that, trying to, for whatever reason, like they had it in their head that like, and it was like a big bait. Like I had a guy that had all these like Bagley's or something. He wanted some kind of wood bait, and he's like, I'm gonna sand them down, and he was like very adamant about sanding them down. And I was like, dude, you're doing more harm to that bait than you are good. Like there's no use in you sanding down past the build coat. You know what I mean? Like he was taking off all the everything, just getting it down to wood. And I'm like, why do you keep doing that? And he's like, because the weight. And I'm like, no, I mean, they come with that on them. Like you have to have build coats. So finally, after a while, he realized that he was wasting his time and quit doing it. I like 320, 440, 320, depends. I don't mind. I rather have a few sand marks show through than not enough. So I go pretty. I've gone heavier and heavier the older I get. I just want shit to stick. You know what I mean? Like I don't care if there's like a little sand mark or two in there. I rather the paint stick. So yeah, but usually with 320 and 440, you don't see many. It'll fill in. Hello, what's up? The right side. Oh, let's see. AJ, what'd you get? Another good point Marty has: if you sand off the build coat, the bait will look like shit. Very true. So I had to get that dude chilled out on sending everything down to bareness. But he's woke now. He knows what's up. I had to give him a little lesson. So the ones that gave me the most trouble was that I don't paint anymore. learning the hard way, is the stupid looking Rapalas with they look like a squid, like a 20,000 Leagues Under the sea monster that has like the big eye on the tail. That paint is like that paint is weird. It's not like it's painted, but the way they press the it's like almost like a decal they put for the crawl markings and the eyeball and stuff. And whatever that material is does not like lacquer thinner. They the whole like graphic bubbles up and like shrivels up and falls off, and it just makes a big mess. So, but then if you try to remove it, you have like pits in the build coat to where all that was like pressed in. It's really weird. It's really weird. So I'm gonna is it too late in the year to do Ozark Shad DT6s? I don't think so. I might do some Ozark Shads. That would be sexy. Jeremy, I haven't seen that. Is Dobbins tonight, Hella? Dustin, you need a new job if they're cracking down on dicking off at work. All right, down to the last couple. Yeah, that'd be a good one, Morgan. I don't know. I mean, rather than try and like force my colors on people, I just try and give them what they want. Delta Ceramicoat? I don't. Are you talking about the old Delta? The Delta that Bagley used? If that's the Delta you're talking about, that was probably considered the best spray clear coat there was for baits. Jeremy, yeah, I think you'd be better off selling all those DT10s and trade them for 6s. I think the 6 is a way better bait. South Jersey, what is this? Does that mean there isn't as much consistency with the ball says and his? They're all the same. Like really, it just the build coat also eliminates sanding so much because you're trying to hide the wood grain if it raises from your sealer. So, yeah. by imperfections, it's, you know, a lot of it's just getting above the wood grain and giving you a good shell. I'm the lead worker for a milk and juice production plant. Damn, that's pretty boring, Dustin. What do y'all think? Y'all think there's been more fish caught on a DT6 than a DT10? Like, there's been more fish caught on a DT6 than any other size in the lineup? Would that be out of line? Maybe because they've sold more? Hella agrees. DT6 is the shining star. I think we've all grown to learn that. It's just a good size too. Oh, Marty. While I have you here, what was that little bait you sent me? It wasn't little. Let's see. What was this one? What is this bait? Are we talking about the same? Are we talking about ceramic coat that goes on weapons? Or are we talking about what is? I think PPG makes a product called Delta. I'm not sure. Marty, that was a really weird bait. Really weird. And I say that because it pulled really, really hard. Cerakote. Okay, Delta is the paint brand. The only Delta I know is the old people that used to supply Bagley was Delta. But yeah, their shit was legit. Dude, I threw that thing yesterday, Marty, and like it was pulling like a series 5. But it wasn't diving that deep. It was really, really odd. Maybe it was like kicking twice as fast or something. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out what was going on with that thing that was making it pull so hard but not dive that deep. It was very interesting action on that bait. Very interesting action. It's a pretty good color. Not for long, though. Not for long, Rapala. These are nice because they don't have the recessed eyes. Dustin, that would be a good shootout. Bandit 200 versus Rapala DT6. Who wins? It was funny, Marty. I was throwing these other ones, like the like these. I was throwing these, and they look beautiful. You know, they had a good it ran true. Yeah, but these like my rod when I threw those were like, you know, they were bent a little bit, like had a little bit of tip bend, and I was pulling them in pretty good. I threw that one of yours, and like my tip reeling it in was like bent over. I was like having to crank on it. I was like, what is going on with this thing? It pulled very, very oddly. But nothing about it, like looking at it, I would look at it and be like, dude, this thing's about to pull my arm off. But it pulled hard, which I thought was that surprised me. It was almost like a deep killer bee or something, but with a short bill. Very odd. Very odd. South Jersey, do I feel the old bandits were better than the newer ones? Probably to a degree. I don't know though. Probably not. I mean, a new one's still catching, you know, shitload of fish. So no, the old ones probably look better. Uh, that one's got the line tie on the nose. Jay, I haven't done the only fire tigers I've done, and they weren't really. I mean, they were fire tiger, but they were different. I did some RCs for Travis Manson, Smallmouth Crush. Um, I did some 1.5s for him in a fire tiger that you can see on Instagram if you scroll back. They turned out pretty good, but I really have never been a real big fan of. I haven't created the right squigglies yet for a fire tiger. But that day I do, y'all's ass is gonna get blasted with fire tiger stuff for like 2 months till I get tired of it. It's gonna be fire tiger everything. Yeah, I think they did. I will say the Pradco or whoever's owned Bandit the last couple times, they have they've they've dicked up some colors. Um, they've dicked khaki up a couple times, and I guess I don't even know if they make it anymore. The Humblebee, they've dicked up a bunch. They made it way too bright. I think that's what a lot of it, like a lot of the older colors were like real muted, and just like they were almost just like Pantone colors, just like orange out of like a crayon box. You know what I mean? Like if it was an orange and yellow bait, like the orange was like pure orange. But now you see them replace like that kind of orange with like a blaze orange or like a fluorescent orange, or like, you know, they don't seem to use as or they've replaced some more muted flat colors with like a fluorescent. That one's kind of fire tigery. The markings, but these aren't those aren't mine. I can't take credit for those. Those are that is the crawl markings from a Lure Jensen speed trap. When I was having to replicate those, I cut a stencil for the couple professionals wanted their speed traps crystal crawl, so I just made them look like the stock one. So I cut a stencil to look like the stock. So I use it from time to time. It works on stuff like that. But I don't typically use that and be like, ooh, look at my Fire Tiger, because it is in fact not mine. I don't care for Rapalla's marks. Theirs are pretty ugly. Agreed. Those are not sexy. My favorite Fire Tiger is the old Bagley Fire Tiger color on the B1. I thought I had a Bagley Fire Tiger up there somewhere. I used to. I think I painted it. Oh, there they are. It's on a Killer B1. That one? Not sexy. Marty, I think I liked this one, the smaller of the two with that bill. It had a very crisp action. Crispier than the round bills. Oh. Seabass, what's up? You driving? I haven't bought a new Norman in eons. Oh, what are you talking about? The Colonel? I don't know who the damn Colonel is. I guess that's why, Jeremy, all the old ones are selling good on eBay. Like, I don't know any bait that you can buy now on eBay that's like a deal anymore. I don't think there's deals on anything. Like, you used to be able to buy, like, you could buy like a lot of Normans, like DD22s and little ends and stuff like that, for like, I don't know, if there was 20 of them in a lot, you could get them for $40, $2 a piece, which is fair to me for some old crusty Normans. But now people want like $5 a piece for them. It's absurd. Um, Daniel, yeah, I watch I've been on some. The only way you can get a deal from Simmons on that kind of shit is if nobody bids against you. If you meet like the opening price, you'll be okay. But like, if somebody starts trying to bid you up 1 or 2 times, like it's not even worth it. You can go to the damn store and buy them because everything's $10 shipping. So by that time, you're already in it. Usually they do those Normans in like twos. So even at $10, you're in it at $5 a bait already. So I wonder if you can just go to Simmons and like buy their Normans. I'd like to see their warehouse. They gotta have a ton of stuff, dude. Back in the day, they used to have all those Lucky Crafts like laid out on the aisles. Like you'd go to Simmons and they just have like boxes of like Lucky Craft BDSs and the CBs and all that stuff just like stockpiled everywhere. I'm assuming it's not like that anymore. I haven't been in there in a while. Lightning Shed, you got 8 for 25. That's a good price. But I was trying to buy, what was I trying to buy? I was trying to buy some Normans, just like stuff that's like, you know, that I enjoy painting. Like I like painting deep baby ends. I like painting. I like just specifically deep baby ends. Dude, people want a damn fortune for a deep baby end, and it's like it's not worth it to me. But I couldn't believe like what those things are selling for. Bert, I would agree. There just aren't deals on anything. Like people, I don't know. Like I even tried to find like junk, and you can't even find junk for deals, which is good if you got stuff to sell. If you're like a hoarder and you've got a bunch of shit, your shit now has value. So, Daniel, we don't talk about those here. We don't talk about that brand here. The Zoom room. I've got all the pictures of on my phone of it. I never got to. I kept saying I was going to go up there, and then Ed died, and it was like, no, we don't have a Zoom room. Like, yes, you do. No, we don't. Marty, I think it's still in the box. I don't think I've tested it yet. Actually, this one scaled down to deep baby end size would be pretty cool if you could make like a micro version of it, like a real small one. That'd be pretty badass with like a little bit deeper diving lip. I could see that being awesome. I could see it looking awesome. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with. There's two different swim bait markets. There's like the guys on eBay, or there's the sellers on eBay that do really well because the buyers on eBay don't know anything about swim baits typically. So I know a lot of these guys. I know who they are. I know their buying habits. They don't know swim bait, universe, underground, Facebook. They don't know jack shit about any of that. They don't know it exists. Um, AJ, they did. They did. Daniel did. He should get you know what number of lashings for that comment. But so these guys that pay these astronomical prices for this stuff is they don't know anything about anything. They fish a lot and they have a lot of money. So what happens is it takes a bait like a Hinkle or like any of the like when that dude out there in California was smoking all those dudes on that Batesmith trout or whatever. Like they're not reading about it on the internet. Their buddies are like it's traveling by word of mouth, and and when they hear that, you know, guys will be like, "Hey, these things are expensive," and they're like, "Okay," so they'll get on eBay and look up what their buddy told them, Hinkle swim bait, and it's $800, and they got a big fat ass wallet, and they're like, "Well, they said it's a lot, so I guess that's what it costs," and then click buy because you know somebody beat them in a tournament or somebody, you know, in a YouTube video was throwing one, and for a guy with a bunch of money that doesn't know jack shit about the internet or social media, like where does he buy stuff like that? You can't get it in a store. He just goes to eBay. Whatever it costs is what it costs. Like so, you know that is that eBay customer. There's a fair amount of them. So, uh, but if you want, you know, if you want deals, there's you have to you have to hunt and you have to know the right people and you have to know what you're buying and you know there's ways to not get reamed in the swim bait world. But like I said, the guy that's paying $800 for a Hinkle, he don't have time for that shit. Like he just needs a damn Hinkle. Um, so people supply, there's a demand for that. You know, if you're a wealthy businessman that loves bass fishing and wants a Hinkle shad, uh, the you know $600 markup is probably worth his time to pay rather than like farting around on some Facebook group trying to like sniff out a deal for a month. You know, you just buy it and be done with it. Send it to me. Yeah, Milliken gets a little wild with his pricing. All for the clicks. But does it affect the price for like a guy like you, or does it affect the price for the people who don't know better? You know what I mean? The people that are uninformed, that are just watching Ben Milliken videos and don't know about anything else. All right. One down, 30 more to go. Hell, I might just paint all these. Later, Hella. Have fun on your work call. Um, South Jersey, I would agree, because he's really only boning the people that, at no fault of their own, are uninformed. You know what I mean? It's like they're getting double screwed, because they're getting screwed for no reason. You know what I mean? They're getting screwed not because they're uninformed. They're getting screwed because somebody falsely uh, inflated the market, which sucks. But at the end of the day, it's just a fishing lure. It's another good point. Some guys are waiting years to get these things, which I guess that also affects the price. So you got a big wallet. You want to wait 2 years, maybe get a bait, or you want to pay $1,000 for it? Some would say, uh, give me the G. But when something makes it to that, when a product or like a bait or whatever, when it reaches the outlier anglers that don't know about, that don't like follow social media, or keep up on forums, or just keep up with like really current events, on their own time, like searching on Facebook or forums or stuff like that. Um, when a bait reaches word of mouth level to those guys, like they blow up on social media, but then like when it starts making its way around in the word of mouth groups, that's when you've got something. That's when your market really like expands to like the guys with the big wallets. And there's a lot of guys on social media with big wallets, but there's a lot more of them that aren't on social media because they're out there making money, not farting around on Facebook all day. Um, and when those guys, when that like level of angler is reached, that's when you see shit go wild. No, I think waiting years is pretty absurd, especially for something you could potentially lose. That would suck. Wait 2 years for a Hinkle. Break it off on the first cast. I'm sure that's happened. I'm sure that has happened. Guys wait for some long period of time or pay some exuberant amount of money for a bait and then like take it out there and go and it goes sailing. That's pretty funny to think about. Yeah, I think that's when things get shitty. South Jersey and Jeremy, is when you get builders or painters or any business that you can imagine. I think you start running into a problem when the business owner providing whatever service or product Feels like the customer owes them something. Bro, they don't owe you shit. They're doing you a damn favor. You should be counting your lucky stars that, 2 people want to buy this shit. I was talking about this last couple days ago or yesterday, Jeremy. I think, not everybody is made for business or customer service. And you see a lot of guys in the fishing world that, they might like tinkering with baits. And for whatever reason, they decide they're going to start selling them. When the whole time, that's not for them because their personality is not set up for it. And, or maybe they don't know that they're not set up for it yet. And then they start, trying to sell stuff. And then, it's cool for a little while. And then they just blow up and self-destruct. You see that a lot. See that a lot. And I can say it can get frustrating. Like when you deal with like when you're smaller and you deal with a certain small group of guys, you're pretty safe because those guys, are following along. They're usually it's a decent group of guys because they're using their own time to like kind of research and figure out who's who and what's what and where to do their business. And that type of person typically has a pretty good is a pretty good customer. But then when you get bigger and bigger and bigger and like more of like the way general public figures out you have something that they want, when you go from having like really nice, like chill, understanding, thoughtful customers to like just like the randoms out there that are like, make my shit and send it to me tomorrow. And that's it. And if it's not here in 2 days, you're gonna give me my damn money back. Or I'm gonna blast you on every social media outlet I've got. Like those guys come out of the woodworks, but you don't really see them till later. You know what I mean? Till you like, and I saw that with what I do. Like when you're smaller and you're growing, like it's a pretty solid group of guys. But once you get out of that, like once you get into like where the wild things are, where people just start like showing up with from who knows where, that's when shit gets weird. That is when shit gets weird. And I won't say weird, it's just frustrating. South Jersey, that's the only way to do it. That's the only way I sell shit. I'll sell it to you when I'm ready to ship it. When they're done. Like, my stuff goes up for sale for the most part. Anytime I've ever sold anything, when my stuff goes up for sale, it's got hooks on it, it's packaged, it's sitting here in a pile, like ready to go. And when I hit, unhide on the website, all I have to do is package them up and send them out. I don't know why anybody would want to do anything different than that. It's like so much easier. I mean, you get your hiccups. You get guys buying like 16 times and be like, hey, I have 14 orders. Can you combine them? Sure, I can. Is it a pain in the ass? Yes, but I certainly can. Kyle, you are 100% correct. They need to, they just need to go back to fishing or whatever their normal job was and just leave, leave the business side to somebody else. Because what's funny is you see a lot of these guys, they get like, family members involved. They'll be like, oh, I'll let so and so like run the customer service side, and they're usually like whoever it is, like cousin or brother or mom or dad or sister or wife or whoever it is. They usually tend to have like typically the same type of personality as the person that's like started that shit to begin with. So it's really funny when they put somebody that's like just as hot tempered or something as them in control. You get blasted by the original person, and then you're like, oh, I got this new customer service person, and then they blast you. It's like, what's going on here? What is going on here? I thought customer service was supposed to get better. Jeremy, I actually got half of a mold poured. So I'm going to have I might do the other half of the mold today. And then I'll be hopefully back in business is the plan. And I can start working on them next week. That would be a nice change of pace. Be a nice change of pace. Get some DTs up, get some swim. And it's like, and I wanted, like, I wasn't in really like a hurry to have like a bunch of baits done, like the gills done for like early pre-spawn. Like now's the time that they're going to shine. So now's when I want to get them out anyway. So like now's the time most guys would use them. Jeremy, I think it's like pride that people have an issue like admitting fault. But I think you also get those guys that give the legit dudes a bad name because you hear all these horror stories of guys, saying, "Oh, I like screwed up," but then they say they screwed up like 37 times. It's like, dude, you're dicking up all the honest people out there that like, make people want to. You're the guy that gives people trust issues because, you tell them like honestly, I messed this up, and then it's not honesty. It's just like you were just buying time to like. I don't know what people do, honestly. Like I really don't know what people do. Like if somebody was wearing my ass out on like the internet about a bait, like it would probably take the second time I saw some bullshit about it to just walk out to my shop and build the damn bait and like just build one. It doesn't take that long. Like, eat dinner and go build that damn bait and shut that dude up. Here's your bait, dude. Sorry. Hell, here's two. Yeah, I guess it's ego. No sniffs, Morgan? No sniffies at Wachita? No sniffs at Wachita? If you find yourself saying, I hate people, don't find a job that involves pleasing someone for a paycheck. Good point. I only hate some people. I've actually been really, I've been very blessed in what I do that I've only had a handful of like bad apples. And it wasn't like anything I did. They were just dicks. Like one guy I think had like one guy had like he was a total hothead, really annoying. You could tell he had had like Napoleon syndrome. Um, but he sent me a bait, and it had like I take pictures whenever a bait shows up. I take a picture as it arrives. So dude sent me a bait, and I'll look them over to make sure that's like there's nothing like dicked up on it. And this dude sent me like a Roman maid. I think it was a negotiator, and I sent him a picture of it, and I was like, "Yo, dude, your bait's got a crack in it." I sent him a picture of it. And he was like, "I didn't do that. I didn't send it to you like that. You did that." I'm like, "No, I didn't. I'm just telling you. When I took it out of the box, your bait has a crack in it. Like I don't like. Sorry." And dude, he went off. He was just being such a dick. And I finally like what was funny was it was on Facebook, and he kept like being a keyboard warrior on Facebook Messenger. I finally hit call, and he answered. And he was like, hello." I was like, "What's your fucking problem, dude?" I was like, "You think I did something to like harm your bait intentionally, or you think I'm lying to you that I messed your bait up?" And he's like, "Oh no, man, no, no, no." I'm like, "Well, uh, what's the deal?" He's like, I mean, I might have overlooked it." Bitch. But yeah, he was like, total badass behind the keyboard, and then, you get him on the phone. I was like the only dude I had to call because he was being like, he made my blood bubble so much that I was like, I can't take like typing to this guy anymore. Cause I like doing that was like, my fingers were getting like shaky. I was like, dude, I can't talk. Like, I got to talk to this guy. I've got to hear his voice because this can go on no longer. But settled it. That was fun though, because I felt much better. If I wouldn't have called him, I would have felt I would have like I would have taken it to bed. But I felt good about it. Like I said, one of those guys are like once. Like I've been doing this forever, and that's like the only guy I've ever like that was just a total dick for no reason. Well, what we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 baits. Probably got another one somewhere that I'm missing. 29. So I could do 10, 10, and 10, or 10, 10, and 9 colors. Or I could do 20 and 10. I could do 20 of the Coleman Craw and 10 something else. What do y'all think? Bunch of J. Lee crawls. Hell, I could do them all J. Lee crawls. South Jersey, that's the only thing I don't understand about Roman. Like, it's one of the most beautiful baits to me. I mean, to anybody. Like, the design is so like clean, and like the lines on it are beautiful, and it's just like everything about a Roman made, specifically a negotiator. Um, the mothers are pretty, but I think the smaller like petiteness of of a of a negotiator makes it extra pretty. But I don't know. I don't know why they can't figure out their coatings. Uh, the blue and orange one. Oh, this one. The Ken Iobi ripoff. This is the Coleman crawl that Jordan has now made famous, and AJ Alton Jr. has made double famous, because this is what he won at Forcom. And then there's that whole write up on the Bass Blaster about it, but that one. I could maybe do that one. Crawls in April. Unheard of. Jeremy, do I know the story behind why everybody hates 316? I've ordered a few times from him and never had a problem. No, I love Mickey. Mickey's awesome. People give Mickey shit all the time, and I don't know why. Like, I think he's been. I think Marty doesn't take shit off of people. I think that's probably what people don't like is if Mickey thinks you're full of shit, he's gonna let you know it. And like, if he smells a turd, he's gonna call it a turd and let you know about it. But Mickey's always been awesome to me. I used to talk to Mickey a bunch. And people, I know Mickey might get a little, he might get a little hot under the collar sometimes, and overreact maybe. I don't know, but like, as far as personal shit with Mickey, nah, dude, Mickey's awesome to me, and he's a great. I mean, as far as like garage builders, that dude is like light years above everybody. Mickey's the shit. Mickey's the guy that can do it all. You know what I mean? Like, Mickey's the one dude to me that's like, he can build like exceptionally well, but as like, he is a master of building. And not only that, of like making molds, pouring baits, like all that shit, like, he's a master at that. But on the other side of it, he's a master of making baits do what he wants them to do. And on top of that, he's a master of coatings. Like, he knows a shit ton. Like, he knows paint, and he knows like how to make it stick, and he knows how to paint, and he knows how to do all that stuff. So he's like, all that part of it, he's got down. If you call and it's a bad day, he really might bite into your ass a little bit about something, maybe. But I mean, for the most part, I think Mickey stands behind his product, puts out a good product. He's usually pretty accurate with his deadlines on when if you order a bait from him, like, you're gonna get it. And if he's not, if he's late, he's forward about it and be like, hey, it's gonna be an extra 2 weeks, and it's usually pretty accurate. Like, he doesn't blow smoke up people's asses. So yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Mickey probably has more good customers than he does bad. You know what I mean? I think it's just you just hear the squeaky wheels more than you hear because somebody's buying all that stuff. You know what I mean? He's not making it for like 4 dudes that hate him. People are buying it and they're going out and, enjoying it and fishing with it. And, where are those guys? They're just out fishing this stuff, like having a good time. Yeah, Mickey's smart on the business side. He knows what's up. He knows what to do. Uh, yeah, I mean, Mickey knows his shit's good, and he knows his value, and he knows what it's worth, and he knows what his time's worth, and if he's looking out in the industry, and he's looking across the world of swim baits, yeah, he's the best, and he knows it. And I mean, until somebody dethrones him, yeah, your shit's better than everybody else's, Marty. I mean, Mickey. Your shit's better than everybody else's too, Marty. Sorry. Uh, but that doesn't necessarily. I'm not talking about maybe like fish catching, like like his baits like catch more fish than like anything. I'm talking about like fit and finish, um, like consistency, like his paint, his like all of his baits are exquisitely clean. Like the paint is super consistent. Like it's really hard to find a flaw on Mickey's baits. And compared to what's out there, he is like way above everybody. Because I mean, you look at Mickey's baits, and there's no like, all his weights are hidden. Like you can't see any kind of, like anything where he like put weights in his bait or anything like that. I mean, he might do it, and I know some of his baits don't even have weight in them. Like I think his Wake Junior doesn't even have like a ballast weight in it. I think it's done in the resin, but um, still, maybe all his baits are just weighted like that, but they're just super clean, dude. Like everything about it is better than everybody else's. And I don't understand that, like with like the Piz thing. Like if I'm gonna get a bait, like if I want to glide, like and I'm in the market for like a shad glide, like I'm gonna buy a Workhorse, like 100%, from like a garage guy. Or build one, but like I'm saying, like if I'm trying to buy one from a garage dude right now, I would probably look for a Workhorse. Um, but Mickey deserves every dollar he makes. Like coming from a guy who does it and like has built baits and has painted, like yeah, his shit is worth that. When he says it's like the Ferrari of baits, like they are, like compared to anything else, like what's better? Not talking about action or like, fish catching, like as far as like how well they're built and how well they hold up. I can't name anything. Morgan, I've never understood. That's what I was thinking, that you see that occasionally on his front thing. He'll have some of them will have little pinholes. Um, and I find it odd that he left it, but I don't know if that is from positioning weight or if that is to take weight out after it's built, after it's painted. Like if he takes a bait and he tests it, and that's where he takes the weight out of after the fact. I would think it would be maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if that is a molded in hole when he's putting weights in the bait, or if that is a hole from a drill. I don't know. But like I said, I've painted a ton of 316 stuff, and you know, they're all awesome. They're all awesome. But you also have to look at it too from a builder side. Like he does some shit. Like so, if you look on his baits, typically silicone molds that you would pour swim bait are 2-part. So you would open them up, put your mold release in them, whatever you use, put your weighting system, however you're doing that, maybe your harnesses, your hook hangers, all that kind of shit, close it up, pour the bait, and all your stuff's in it. Well, if you look at Mickey's, a lot of his baits have scales all the way across the back. No parting line. So he's obviously using like half of a mold where he's like cracking it, laying his stuff in, and then leaving the top. Like the way he pours is also like, you know, impressive. Like it's not just like standard open up some shit, throw some stuff in it, and then pour the bait. Like he's going the extra step to make sure that the scales across the back of his bait are perfect. So the marling bait, I did see the mother chaser cut in half. That thing had some interesting ballasting. JW Fishing, what is the lateral line split? You think that's where he splits his molds? At the lateral line? Uh-oh. Can y'all hear me? Just got a call. Caught my PB on Mickey's Weedless Rising Sun. Every order he sends me free glue. I'm telling you, dude, Mickey's like, I don't know why people want to, like, sure, Mickey's done some dick stuff. Yeah. But like, I think at the end of the day, Mickey is like, you know, he does right on the business end. Dickie D, I think 100% all Romans are CNC cut. Yeah, I was young, naive fool when Romans first came out, and I was like, you know, they'd show you like the guy carving one with like his hand. They have like some picture of the guy like carving out something. Nah, dude, he carved out one, but all the rest of them are CNC. But I mean, it's brilliant marketing because like their whole thing makes it look like there's some little Japanese dude over there like cutting out all those gill plates by hand. Nah, he's not. Oh, the glide gill was, and I will say that's about the wonkiest bait I've seen Mickey put out. But I mean, I don't like Mickey has no reason to like he doesn't need to put that bait out, and he didn't like need to rush it out like not right. So like if that's the action he wanted, like that was the action the bait had. Like, you know, the dude knows what he's looking at. So it's not like that's not. Or I mean, he might have me fooled, but I don't think that bait was like had some action that he didn't want it to have. But maybe a shitty one got out that wasn't like tuned right, and that happens. I mean, you know, he might have went out there and throw it and ran it in and it looked fine. He threw it out, and you know, had he thrown it two or three more times, it might have done something weird that he would have noticed, but he didn't notice it. But I don't know. But yeah, like I said, Dan, yeah, him. Well, I don't think he got into it with Jason per se, but Jason did a review of his gill, and it got it got pretty wild. Because I don't know. I don't know if that video is even still up. It might be, but that was it'd be worth going back and looking, because there was some pretty good banter from Mickey. I think people get in there and comment like, "Oh, this thing looks like shit," and he put them on blast. But, and I think one of the points was the bait he was using had feathered trebles on it. And I think that was Mickey's original problem with the video, was that the guy was testing a bait not as it was sent. So he tested a bait that had feathered trebles on the front and the back, and Mickey's argument was, that's going to change the action, whether it really did or not. Like that's, but still, like, if I take his tail out and put in a different tail and be like, here's Mickey's bait, that's not how Mickey sent his bait to me. So it was modified. So he was right. Cut the feathers off. Does it run the same? Maybe, but exactly, Morgan. I don't think Mickey, like people act like Mickey looked at that bait and was like, man, this thing looks like shit. Let's sell them. Like, no, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like the dude didn't work on that thing. That, like, y'all really think, or not y'all, but you know what I mean? Like the people that were blasting him, they really think that like he sat there and went to the trouble of making that bait and the molds and tweaking it and doing all that kind of stuff to just like not make it swim like he wanted it to swim. Seems kind of dumb for me. For a guy like Mickey, like he doesn't need to do that. Like he could just sell soft baits and be fine. So yeah, that's the thing. There would be with Roman. There would be no U.S. distribution if they were sitting over there carving them with a damn knife. That's just not going to happen. Morgan, I completely agree. I think that's the problem though, is like people won't, like, if some like garage builder dude starts making baits yesterday and he gets on Swim Bait Universe and throws out a bait and it's like, check out my new whatever. Like, new guys automatically like want to lump that guy in with Mickey. And they're like, oh, that guy's bait runs like shit. And then I look at Mickey's and Mickey's runs like shit. And that's like, no, that's those are two different people. Like, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. Mickey knows more what he's doing than anybody. So, yeah, if you think it runs like shit, it doesn't run like shit. It just doesn't run how you want it to look. So it's not the same. And I think people get confused as to their opinion mattering about like what they deem as acceptable. So you see that a lot. Like, some guys are like, oh, it's got too much roll, it's got too much head shake, it's got too much this, and it's like, well, this guy on one hand probably built that because he had no clue what he was doing. If Mickey's bait has roll and head shake to it, it's for a reason. It's because he built it into it, not because he just like threw shit against the wall and happened to like, get a bunch of roll and head shake. I think that is the issue I see. Right. That's what I'm saying, Dan. Too much for who? The guy who built it? No, because that's exactly how he wanted it to swim. But you see that a lot where guys, you know, who typically like to just like talk about, you know, what's good and what's not to them. Uh, and it's the same thing with uh, like I know Piz's early baits get blasted. Like people are like, oh, those things are pieces of shit. It's like, are they? Like they might not be as refined, but are they like really pieces of shit? The one I always wanted that Mickey built was the tail spinner, because I was trying to work on a tail spinner at the time, and then Marty, why do I keep doing that? Mickey came out with his tail spinner, and I was like, what am I doing? So here was what my dumbass was building, and it was like I molded a shad, and I just wanted, you know, I just wanted something to fish with that looked like a damn shad that was a tail spinner, and so I molded up a shad, and like this is gonna be my tail spinner, and then like, dude, I didn't have that son of a bitch out like a week. Like I didn't have it out, but that was my plan. I was like, dude, I'm gonna make a big tail spinner, and I'm gonna like be the first one to have like a big tail spinner. Uh, and then I build this damn thing, and dude, yeah, like the week later, Mickey posts something. He's like, check this out, Mickey, you son of a gun, beat me to it, and he'd probably been sitting on it for 3 years. The Kokanee Glide. I'm trying to think what other like that like I'd like to just go to Mickey's shop and be like, hey, I've got this idea, but I'm not really as talented as you. Can you build this for me? Like I would like to like feed him ideas on like uh, to see how he would build it, and to like watch his like how he goes through the prototype stage. Um, do you mean this one, Marty? I do. So that's what I was thinking, South Jersey. Like I wouldn't think the Marty bat. It is the Marty bat. Oh, I need to find some sandpaper. What grit is this? 220. A little heavy for what I'm looking for. What is this one? Scuff pad. Not what I'm looking for. One of these days, I'm gonna get to painting all my. I don't know that I will. I don't know that I'll paint them all, but I can't wait for y'all to see the I don't even know what we're going to call it. It's going to be wild, though. It's going to look, I would say if we can get this new little bait to work, I don't even know what category this would be in. It's very odd. Kyle, I agree. Not every bait should have the same cookie cutter action. But what's the deal? Like I always hear guys complain about like body roll and all this kind of stuff in like baits. Like is that like a fish deterrent? Will a fish not bite that? Like I know I've seen a ton of baits that I think look like total ass, like the action of them, and they catch a ton of fish. I don't know how like if a bait just doesn't run at all, I can see it getting blasted. But if it like has like a certain something to it that it does more than something else, but it still like runs true and like does what it's supposed to, I don't know that it can get blasted. Evergreen Moto Zerich. Let me see if I can do this while I'm on YouTube. Evergreen Moto Zerich. Zerich. Moto. That was an odd looking little bait. Profile is not really pleasing to my eye, but what does it say about it? Nothing. That's on Ichiban. A soft back rolling action. Like I won't name names, but there's a lot of baits that are really, really popular in the garage world that when I see like action videos of, I'm like, that's what people have been buying all these years. Like, does that thing really catch them that good? Because I wouldn't think it wouldn't look that good, or I wouldn't think it would be like if I were building it and I got that action out of it, I wouldn't be like, yeah, this thing is ready. But that just goes to show like we don't really like what I think that's the beauty of it is that everybody's eyes are different and what they see is like Jay, they probably would. They probably would. It has a weird quirk. The weird quirk is probably what makes it awesome. Weird quirks are usually what people try to work into their baits and can't figure out. If it has a weird quirk, I'd probably leave it. What is the quirk? I had somebody asking. Kyle, the wall of baits behind me is just that. It is just a. It is just wall of baits. stuff I've bought, collected, want to paint, need to paint, just random stuff. Random stuff. Morgan, send it to me. I'll hit it with a hammer and see if I can fix it. Here's what Burns did for me. Is this the one? Yeah. Pretty damn good, right? I think that's the right one. I think that's the one that's matchy. Yeah, this one's bigger. Damn, that one's got a big paint clear coat run on it. Not Marty's, mine. Daniel, this is a bait that was built by me and my father, probably 7-8 years ago, and Marty was asking me what bait I wanted next, and I said, you know what? I built this thing many moons ago. Why don't we take a stab at bringing it back? So I sent him this body, and he created it. So it looks like we'll be doing some of those. That bait is really I think it needs to be called the Crispix or something with crispy in the name, because like when you reel it, it is like the crispest action. Like it's just pure and crisp crankbait thump. But it's not like a thump, it's like almost like a chatterbait head. Tick 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 tick. Let's see. Sea bass 1.5-ish. I don't know that I have a 1.5 laying around. Here's a DT6 I could compare it to. It's a little bigger than a DT6. About the same width as a DT6, maybe a little wider. So if you go from like here to here, yeah, I mean, it's kind of got DT6 vibes, but not. A little sexier. Yeah, it's a good shad profile, but it's very crispy. Yeah, that'll be one of the next builds. South Jersey, I didn't see the 80s. I've seen the bait, but yeah, I think he shot himself in the foot by going up like to like 225 or whatever he was charging. I think that backfired. I think he got too big for his britches, and he was thinking that like he was gonna pull a Mickey and be like, I'm gonna snub these flippers out, and it's like, didn't work. So I don't know. I don't know the guy, but I don't know that. I don't know that that was a good move. It has a really dead kick and thump. Instead, it wants to lunge forward. Have you fished it in real world situations to see if like that is appealing? South Jersey, you don't want more people to use just do the wood grain finish, then they would be encroaching on my thing. I like to be the wood grain guy. Kyle, you gotta crack the whip on Marty to make sure he's building them ASAP. Let's see. Bling, nice. I'll hold it up next to a bling. It's got different vibes. Uh, I say that. Where is my big crankbait box? There it is. Bling, where are you? Bling, where are you? Of course, I took it out. Ooh, boy, that thing's sexy right there. Ooh, boy. That is damn. As a girl I knew once said, that's sex on a stick. Look at those eyes. Damn. Oh boy. That's nice. That's nice. Kyle, that's just a little plug I pulled out from Burnsy. Marty Burns built me back when. Kind of like I guess it's like a E1 kind of shape. I thought about doing this color, but I got shot down, so I just did it for myself. Yeah, all this is my paint. All this is my paint. Hmm. What is this? Dude, people used to salivate over this bait. I got more comments about this bait than anything. Like when I posted it, this thing went crazy. And it's pretty pretty standard. I think I called this color Cypress Shad. I mean, I will say it's pretty appealing to the eye, but that was one of those. You get those colors occasionally where you post pictures of them, and then people constantly send you that picture, and they're like, "Hey, can I get this?" Dude, this thing right here is a damn fish catcher. Yeah, it was just a KB1, Dan. This is the one Marty did for me, and it was a. I wanted like a smaller, like if you cut an E1 in half, or you shrunk it down to half of its size and made it like an E.5 or. No, I wanted the 0.75, and maybe Marty already made the half size. I can't remember. But anyway, it's a smaller E1. And this little son of a buck, I have smashed them on. I hit it on the. I hit it on my trolling motor, but it's still alive. It's still alive. I checked it. No structural damage. Put another coat of clear on it. Kept fishing it. It's good. It's safe. But it's like a weird. It's like an Easter egg splatterback with like a weird chartreusey white. It's the shit. Let's see if it'll focus for the folks at YouTube. The Cypress Shad is good, Kyle. I will say the Cypress Shad. Actually, when that color shined for me was when I was in Texas. I got on a bite like that bait did most of its damage around a tilapia spawn of all things. So I didn't realize it, but I was like, when I first picked up on it, I saw a tilapia bed on Fayette Lake in Texas. And I was going down the bank and I could see the tilapia like cruising around it. And I thought it was a bass, and I threw over there and reeled through it. And the fish ran off, but I caught one like where I couldn't see anymore, like where the water clarity or it got deeper or whatever, but it was like out from the bed and I couldn't see. So that's where I got the bite. And I was like, well, that's kind of interesting. So I kind of started realizing that the bass were set up outside of the tilapia beds where you couldn't see anything, like where you couldn't see them. And so I just started getting way off the bank and like throwing, it was a really weird, like, distance off the bank that I was casting to. So I would get off the bank just enough to where I could cast to the edge of where I could see the bottom. And dude, I went around the whole lake. Like, it was the most fun pattern ever because like everybody, like I could go behind anybody and do it. And like nobody was even like on the same, not even I was like catching them under their boats, and it was happening everywhere on the lake. So you could just go anywhere. Like you just put the trolling motor down and just went fishing, and you just stayed that distance off the bank and cranked. And I probably caught 50 that day on that damn Velocity. I mean that Killer B1. So it was really good. But those were yeah, that color really shined for me. The best day I had on it was a fishing that tilapia spawn. Tilapia spawn. Morgan, quit dicking around with baits and take those E1 blanks from Ed and just make those. Bert, can't believe you stuck around this long. Good talking to you, dude. You learned a little bit about the ins and outs of bait building and bad business and good business. Marty, I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, it's I think it's shorter and fatter. I don't know where that bait is. Oh, there it is, man. No. Marty, I got so much shit from you that I don't even have a clue what it is. Like, what is this? Oh, I know what this is. This was like one of the batches of E1s you sent. This was like just a weird one. Like all the other ones looked identical, and this body shape was like different than all of them, and I kept it. The Angler channel uploaded the new video of the Tulala. Kyle, that was on Fayette County Lake, outside of Austin, south of Austin, or east of Austin, southeast of Austin. Yeah, this one. I don't know, Marty. It was just one of the. I remember looking at them and I was like, "That one's not right. Like that one's odd." But I kept it. I kept it for me. It's really like I love the profile of it. It's awesome. Maybe I need to send you this one back to remanufacture. It's really a nice looking bait. Nice profile. It's very bluegilly. Kept that for the personal stash. All right. It is kind of, but different. Maybe that's why I like it. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to get off of here. I gotta clean up and try to get some of these baits prepped so I can paint them tomorrow or the next day. And I might go fishing, so I need to actually do some work. In order for me to go fishing, I need to in order for me to go fishing, I need to actually earn a paycheck. So I have to figure out how I'm going to do that. Maybe I would just sell a bunch of shit that I already own so I don't have to actually produce anything this week. That way I can just go fishing. Corkboard sale. All baits, $20 a piece. The only issue is you have to buy them all. And then I can go fishing this week. I don't even know if that would be a decent paycheck, honestly. I would probably come out on the shit end of that deal. Dude, I got some juice up there. I could never get rid of that, Marty. Like this little jewel. Got a 6 on that. Dude, I don't know. What would I mean, this room would look like shit if I still want to paint that cork. I need to look up painting cork. I guess I need to just go get some I guess I need to roll it. Just go get a like a kitchen roller, like a small foam roller, and just roll that in black paint. I think that's believe it or not, Marty, I actually did that one. I tried to dick that one up myself. Yeah, I hope I don't dick it up by making it black, the whole wall. Kyle just going down the road and fishing for a day, but it, like dicking off for a day really like throws my week off. I don't know how many baits up there. I don't even want to think about it. Finally caught up at 1.5 speed. Can't do that on Instagram. You're right. You're right, Hella. You can't speed up your voices in video. Wonder how I sounded at 1.5 speed. Does 1.5 speed dick your voice up, Hella, or does it still sound sort of normal? Whoever owned this Balsa B3 before me looked like they were a good balsa owner, and they put a little pookie on this hole after they cracked it. Buh. Morgan. That one at the top left, this one or this one? That one? That one? The Ira? I don't know what Ira calls this. It's pretty though. It's a beautiful little plug. I wish I could throw it. Hella's making Southern jokes. He's over there on YouTube talking trash about the South, saying the 1.5 speed's good for the Southern guys because it brings you up to normal speed. There's some damn goodies on that board. Before you go, what is your favorite swim bait? It doesn't have to be one you used. Just overall feel it's a good bait from feedback you've heard. What category? Like glide? Reeling? Rich. This whole pile of DT6s. Little Annie? Yeah, that sounds about right. Glide and multi-jointed. Favorite? That's hard. That is hard. I don't know. I'm probably forgetting one. I don't know that I've seen like a bait that I'm like in love with. Like usually everything I see, I'm like, I'd change this. Maybe I don't know, honestly. Like honestly, the my favorite baits I see when I see videos of them when like somebody's got like a bait video. As bad as I hate to say it, I love watching Vic's bait swim, his glides, like his paperweight. I just like the action on him. However much of a dick he may be, or how much people hate him, or whatever, like I love seeing the paperweight swim. It's got a good swim to it. So, I mean, yeah, I said it. But like his, honestly, like his like paperweight glide, like when I watch the swim on it, like I would look at his bait and be like, this is right. Like his, like I guess we have the same opinion on like as far as like swim goes, what looks right. But like a lot of people's glides I see that they don't, it doesn't have a great appeal to me, but or something, there's always something about it that I'd like tweak or something I don't like. But every time I see like one of his swim videos, I'm like, way to go, Vic. That shit looks awesome. I don't know that I've ever seen a dock rat. I don't know. Jay, as 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 funny as it is, I've painted hundreds of BGC 7-inch swimmers, and I don't know that I've ever seen one swim. Never seen one swim. Nice and smooth. That's what I like. Smooth. Like my gill, it's got a little wonk in the joint because it had to for what I wanted it to do. But like if I were trying to build like a wide glider, I don't like those joints that break too hard. Like the joint needs to have like a sweet spot in it to where it doesn't like crack. Um, so, but as far as like good people to send your money to. I mean, if I'm buying a bait, I'm probably gonna buy a bull shad from Mike, uh, just because he's a good guy. He does business right. Um, so um, if I want to send somebody my money, I can probably you know, look down on like look past like certain flaws in what I think in the action or the bait or whatever to give to to buy a bait from Mike. Oh, Morgan, you mean mine? Like what I wanted it to do? I didn't really want it to glide. Like I wanted it to almost be like a Zara spook, um, because I needed what I wanted it for was I wanted it for stain water and casting at targets. So you know, visual clear like water clarity and visual of a bait weren't like it gliding wide had no bearing on what I wanted it to do because if you're in this much water clarity, 6 inches, like a bait swinging wide does nothing because can't a fish isn't going to see it behind a tree anyway. So, or like 12 inches outside of the tree. So I wanted it to be able to throw around like cypress trees, stumps, laydowns, something to where when I twitched it, it would twitch, but it would twitch inside of like a small range. So it wasn't like and I didn't want to have to like try and like because you could do that with like you could do it like real choppy with like a wider gliding bait, but I didn't want to have to like fight the bait doing what it wasn't supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, could I have made it glide wider and then sat there and done it with the real like choppy? Yeah, but I didn't want to like. I just wanted it to have a range, um, and I wanted to be able to reel it fast, kind of like a crankbait, to where you could like burn it up to something and stop it, and then just kind of twitch it real quick, and it would stay there. Um, Kind of like a crankbait, honestly. Um, I mean, it's not like it's what me as a crankbait and a buzzbait and a target fisherman wants in a swim bait, really. Um, because I put everything that I like in like a crankbait or a topwater or whatever. Um, I wanted it for that, and I wanted it to throw beside like in this time of year coming up during the shad spawn. Um, like you'll get green stuff hung up on trees and shadow spawn in it, and like I didn't need some bait that was like swimming around like real wide by the edge of the tree. I needed something I can like run down the tree and then it swim like in a tight and stay in a line. You know what I mean? Like if I've got to throw down a green top or like the edge of a willow tree, like I don't want the bait going. I just want it to like swim down the tree, but I didn't want to bill on it either. Um, so because I felt like a bill kind of limited me a little bit. I wanted the freedom of billless. So yeah, it was mainly for just covering water, and I wanted it to be able to fish fast where it didn't like wear you out. But that was a Southern Cranker's vision of what a gill glide should do. And I mean, it's not for everybody, because when you sell somebody a gill glide, what they think a gill glide should be is most people build glide baits to glide as wide as humanly possible. Nope, don't care about that. So sorry, maybe I should rename it, but there was a purpose. You talking about wire guards on the hooks or on the actual bait? It's an interesting concept. Nah, Jay, Mike knows what he's doing. He actually came by the shop months back. I should have done a live with him. That'd have been fun. Ryan, I could get mine to glide pretty far. I mean, being that short, no, you're not going to get them to do. Like, if I would have taken my bait and used the dimensions of it and like made it thin and flat, like just like that, and just like cut it to square and like rounded it off and just made it kind of flat, you can get it to like glide wider. But interesting concept. Interesting concept. I'll have to look into that. I never even really thought about it. Trying to get it in a tree, like in a tree. It was mainly for going up and around. But I could put a bill in it, maybe help some of that. But Jay, I think the reason that Mike is such good at eye contact when he speaks or when you speak is that he is hearing impaired, so he reads your lips a lot. I believe is correct, but he does pay attention. He listens when you talk, whether he it's like has to do with hearing or not. He is very yeah. But even I think if Mike had 100% hearing in both ears, I still think he would listen to you and pay attention, because he's a good guy and he like cares what you have to say. But oh. All right, 3:30. Damn, it's late. All right, let me go find some sandpaper. All right, y'all be good. Have fun out there. Wish me luck out here in the wild paint world. If anybody got any ideas if you want to see a DT6 in something, let me know. Maybe I can bring it to life. Maybe I won't. We'll see y'all. Adios, YouTube.